Hello, welcome to another episode of THV Tutorials. In today's video, we want to be taking a look at Introduction to Management. So this is the outline for the video. First, we'll take a look at the concept of management, the features and objectives, management and administration, levels of management, managerial roles, management process, and management function. So, management. What's management, right? This is an introduction. Management is a process of achieving organizational goals through the four major functions of what? Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. This definition was put forth by K.M. Bartle and D.C. Martin in 1996. Very good. So, management is simply what? The process of achieving organizational goals. So, whenever we are thinking about achieving organizational goals or involved in activities that will achieve organizational goals, we are managing. But how do we manage, or how do we go about the process of achieving our organizational goals? We do that by engaging in these four major functions, which are what? Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, some definitions go ahead and introduce a third function, which is known as staffing, which is correct, but it's not necessary. These are the four major core functions when you talk about management: planning, organizing, leading, and what? Controlling. So that is for the definition. Right? Now, when it comes to management, there are two important concepts that you have to be abreast with, no matter what. These are what? Effectiveness and efficiency. So let's take a look at what effectiveness and efficiency mean exactly. Right. So effectiveness, it refers to completing activities to attain organizational goals. Right. So effectiveness simply has to do with, as we say, the ends. Right. End results. It has to do with completing activities to attain organizational goals. So when you say that you have to be effective in management, you have to what? Be completing your organizational goals. Now, efficiency is what? Is concerned with getting the most output out of the least amount of input, right? Getting the most out of the least. That's basically what efficiency gives it. So we are managing whether in regards to your resources, what you are putting in to get output, right? That's the whole point of managing, right? Achieving your organizational goals. When you are doing that, efficiency is speaking to you using the least amount of input, right? Or requiring the least amount of raw materials, so to speak, to get your product. And efficiency has to do with means, how you do the things, right? So that's where this diagram comes in. This is the input, right? So you have a small input, and out of this input is coming this output. So getting the most out of the least. This then efficiency is a common concept that runs through many disciplines. Right. So to keep it short, we say that what? Effectiveness is equal to doing the right things, right? Effectiveness is equal to doing the right things, and effectiveness is concerned with the end or ends. Whereas efficiency is equal to doing things right, right? Doing things right. And efficiency is concerned with what? The means. Good, right? So this thing over here, this effectiveness is equal to doing the right things. Now, these sayings were put forth by Peter Drucker. Good. Now let's move on, right? The next is what? Features and objectives of management. That being said, what we just did, the introduction was about the concept of management. Moving on. The features of management. You said that management has the following features. It's goal oriented, right? You are achieving a goal. It's intangible. You cannot see management. You cannot touch management, right? But you go through it. Management is dynamic. It does not change. It's not fixed. There's no one fixed way of managing. It adapts to the situation and the environment. Discipline. Management is a discipline, right? Not as a discipline. Wake up at a certain time. Do this, do that. No, that's not that kind of discipline. Discipline like a course that you study in school, like discipline like something that you go to school to learn. So management is a discipline. Just like how I'm teaching the discipline of management right now. Good. Management is also pervasive in all organizations and at all levels of organizations, right? Management is what? Pervasive. Meaning that it runs through all organizations. In every organization that you go to, management is necessary. Management is there. And inside that organization, at all levels, management exists. Like you have the supervisors and so on. We'll get to that in the fourth item. That's levels of management. Good. Management is a process, and management is what? An activity. So now, what are the objectives of management? The objectives of management simply refer to what? Are these four? So one side, management is important or is aimed at what? Helping achieve organizational goals. So management helps to achieve organizational goals. It promotes effectiveness and efficiency. It develops the ability of managers, and what? It establishes human and social welfare. So let's take a break, and when we come up, we'll attack the third item on the outline, which is management and administration. Management and administration. What's the difference? Now, on this matter, there are three perspectives, right? The first says that administration is above management. The second says that management is above administration. And then the third says that what? Administration and management are the same. The first perspective or the first viewpoint was put forth by American authors like Oliver Sheldon, Springer, among others. The second was put forth by British authors like Bridge, Kimball and Kimball, etc. Good. Now the third was put forth by authors like Chester Bernard and George R. among other authors. Good. Let's get down to it. What do this mean? The first, admin is about management. Now, the Americans took this perspective because, according to them, administration defines the organization's goals and management strives to achieve those goals. According to the American authors, management is equal to the execution of policies, whereas administration is concerned with what? The creation of policies. Good. Now, of course, the British people also come in and say that no, you have it backwards. You have it backwards, right? What I'm saying is the opposite. So the British authors say that management is a high-level function which creates policies. Of course, they're just changing the English small, and that's academia. Anyway, so management is a high-level function which creates policies, and administration executes the policies laid out by management, right? So Americans said that's what admin is above management because administration creates policies and management executes those policies, right? Now the British people come and say that no, people are wrong. Management is above administration because management creates the policies and administration executes them, right? Of course, as time went on, scholars like Chester Bernard, George R, etc. just come and say what? You know what? You people are arguing about the same thing, saying the same thing, are just taking different perspectives. And this is what the difference between administration and management lies not in their meaning but in their application, right? So it's how you apply them that brings out a difference, but they are the same thing and they are all part of the same process. And these authors said that the same people who implement or the same people who perform the roles of administration and management are usually the same. So if you're a manager, you are performing both roles of management and administration. And otherwise, right? Good. So all of this is what we need to know when we talk about administration and management, right? These are the three different perspectives. Of course, this applies to the field of management or the introduction to management. Let's move on to our fourth item on the outline, which has to do with the levels of management. Levels of management. Getting something. On my glasses. Anyway, levels of management. There are two levels, right? You have the top level, the middle level, and then the low level. As seen by this pyramid, right? So top, middle, low. So to break it down to the simplest form, when you think about the top level, they are responsible for the entire organization, right? The organization as a whole. Good. That's where you have CEOs, COO, board of directors, right? That's where the top management or the top level of management deals with, right? That's what it talks about. And you can also middle level. Now, at the middle level, these managers are not responsible for the whole organization, but they are responsible for the departments within the organization, right? So let's say you have the finance department, the marketing department, operations, and so on. These are all departments within one organization which are aimed at achieving the same organizational goals. That's why when you talk about management, the definition of system is important. So, what's a system? A system is a group of different components performing different functions to achieve the same objectives, right? So we are all trying to achieve the organization's objective, but each department has its role that it plays to achieve those roles. Good. And at the top of the organization, like the whole organization, you have our managers there. When you come down to the departmental levels, you have managers there, right? So the lower level or the low level is referring to the, so if they say the middle level, they have managers, right? So let's take a company like Bank of Ghana, right? You have their headquarters, and that's where you have the board of directors and then the top level managers at. Good, but when you come down, the power becomes decentralized, right? It's spread out. So you have different branches, fintechs, tertiary, this, that. All these branches would have what? Managers there. Those managers will not be considered or cannot be considered only one as top level management. They are handling branches, right? So you can also break that down further. So within each branch, you could also have what? Top, middle, and low. Anyway, so that's the whole thing here. You turn out the department. This is a rather simple structure, right? So that's the department. Then from the department, you see that at a low level, we are what? Responsible for the units within the department. So managers will be here, managers will be here. When you get here to managers will be here. The management of this unit will report to the manager over here, and this manager reports to the manager over here. Now at the top, this top management, they play a crucial role, right? They set the long-term goals. Maybe in 2029, we want to achieve this and that. Good, right? So they pass those goals down to the middle management. And the middle management creates a pathway to achieve those goals. They create a pathway and they break it down. Maybe 2025. So every year we should achieve this target, and every 3-4 months you should achieve this target to get to where you want to get to by the end of the year. I get it. Now, these people break it down and they bring those objectives or targets down to the low level where you have the supervisors among others. Now the supervisors take care of the day-to-day targets, right? So they also achieve on a daily basis to get to the monthly basis. And these people achieve their goals on a monthly basis to get to what? The yearly basis, and that's how it works. So if you been able to watch other courses on the channel, you realize that we refer to the top management as what? Strategic management, right? They are strategic, they are long term. When you come to the middle level, you say what? They are tactical. They are tactical. And when you get to the low, you say what? They are operational, day-to-day activities. So this is when we talk about the rules of the levels of management. This is what I'm talking about. Good. So move on to the fifth managerial roles after our break. Good. So the managerial roles, right? You have the interpersonal role, the informational role, and the decisional role. Now these roles were put forward by These roles were put forward by Henry Mintzberg, right? Good. So you have this interpersonal role, the informational role, and the decisional role. These are the three types of roles that Henry Mintzberg put forth. Each of them is divided into sub roles. So let's deal with the first, the personal role. You have figurehead, leader, and liaison, right? So as the name suggests, interpersonal role, right? The role you play between or with regards to the people you are managing, right? You are the figurehead, meaning that you represent those people. If management wants to speak to those people, they will call that manager to represent them. Leader, you lead those people. Then liaison means that you stand on behalf of the organization or the department that you are leading. Maybe when you have visitors from another company, you'll be the liaison, you'll be the go between the third party and your people or the organization, right? So that's what being a manager means. You are a liaison. You stand in between, a mediator, like sort of a middleman for the organization or the people that are managing. So that leaves us with what? The informational role. They have what? Monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. So informational role, you speak for the organization. Disseminator simply means that when there's information that the organizations or the members of the organization need to know, it's your role or your duty to get those information across to the members of the organization. Right, so you disseminate the information. Then the monitor simply means that you have to be on the watch or the prowl for information that is relevant to your organization or information that is relevant to the members of your organization. Right, so you monitor for the information. When you get the information, you disseminate, right? And when something is wrong, you speak for the people that are leading, you speak for the organization or your department. And now there's the decisional role. Now this one is just what? Negotiator, resource allocator, disturbance handler, and entrepreneur, right? So you negotiate on behalf of the people. When there's resources to be allocated, you allocate it to, if you are the low level, you allocate it to each individual. If you are the department, you allocate it to each unit. If you are the top, you allocate the beginners and the department, right? So that's what the resource allocator is talking about. Now, disturbance handler or dispute handler, when there's a disturbance, when there's a misunderstanding or a conflict, as the manager, it's your duty to be a go-between, not just being a go-between, but handling it, bringing it to an end. That's why I was decisional. Good. Now, entrepreneur, right? You have to be innovative, bring ideas for the organization and keep improving. That's what the entrepreneur is speaking to, like being business minded. Good. So that's for the managerial roles. For the fifth one, we have what? Management process and management function. Now we spoke a lot about this when we we're talking about the levels of management. So some of what I said towards the end of that part was about the functions of management, right? But not the process. How can one be a manager, or how can one go about management? What do you need? You have the knowledge base and then the management skills. Right? So this is trying to identify the prerequisites an individual must possess before they can be a manager or before they can manage effectively and efficiently. So for the knowledge base, we have company policies and practices, right? You have to know what the company policies are in their practices. You have to know what the company's goals and plans are. You have to know the company culture, important suppliers and customers. You also have to have personalities of key organizational members, right? That's a knowledge base, what you need to know about when you are a manager or when you want to be a manager. And the management skills, we have what? So there are 3 skills: conceptual skills, human skills, and then technical skills. Conceptual skills is like visionary, your ability to integrate the parts together, understand how each part of the organizational system works. The part each division or department plays to achieve the organizational goal. You have to have the knowledge of how it all comes together. Now, human skills has to be taught, interpersonal skills, how being a spokesperson, negotiating for the people, being a mediator when there's conflict and so on. You have to be good at that. It's one of the skills. When you have human skills, you know you are good at that, right? You are a people person. Now, you have technical skills. That has to do with having specific skills, to do certain jobs, which are very specific. Now, at the low supervisory or operational level, as a manager, you need two skills: technical skills and human skills. And those are the two skills that you need at the low level, right? Or the supervisory or the operational. And that is because at that point you're not playing the high stakes game. You're just doing a specific thing to achieve in the big goal, right? So you don't need to have that conceptual skill mindset or skills at the low level. You are being led, right? Go here. So you are being led by middle management. Good. When you get to the middle management, you need all the three skills. You need to have technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. You see, but human skills is dominant at the middle level. You need to have a lot of human skills to be at that stage. Good. Now at the top level, you don't need to have technical skills, right? Imagine you are the leader of a CEO of a logistics company. You do warehouse inventory and all that. You don't need to know how to work a forklift. It's not your concern. For deliveries, you don't need to know how to drive a truck. That is it's not your concern. You're just putting the pieces together and moving everything on the chessboard, right? So at the top level, you need conceptual skills and human skills. Good. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. That's it for this video. Take a look at all this. So this is the introduction to management. Watch out for other videos. You want to have other videos on what planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So be sure to check those out. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and help us to get to 600 subscribers. If you have already subscribed, thank you very much. If you are also watching and benefiting, share, like, comment. You realize that most of the viewers are not subscribed. We will really appreciate your subscription, especially if this video is helping you. Right? You have to help us help you, help us get bigger. After all, we are helping each other. Thank you very much.